We're going to talk about production methods now. We've explored the vision of labor, so let's see how these are applied practically. Once upon a time, craftsmen made tools and implements by hand, so it was impossible to make parts that could be interchanged. This was of particular interest and concern to the U.S. Army in the early 1800s, who wanted guns that could be manufactured in such a way that parts could be interchangeable for ease of repair. Thus, the Army Ordnance Department spent 50 years inventing and refining machine tooling, whereby machines made the parts to very exact specifications, such that the assembly process could be automated like the pin process, as well as parts be able to be replaced as needed. This became known as the American System of Manufacturers. This is Mariana Mazzucato, who has a body of work of myriad other examples of transformative technological innovation arising out of government research. Frederick Taylor published Principles of Scientific Management in 1911 and is the namesake of the Taylorism movement in production, where every aspect of the production process, down to individual movements of workers, were analyzed and standardized to ensure maximum efficiency. These were known as time and motion studies, if you want to think of Fred Gilbreth in Cheaper by the Dozen. As we'll come back to later, Taylorism brought managers. Taylorism coincided with Fordism, Henry Ford's production innovations of moving assembly lines and co-located production, and extended the American system into the realm of mass production, high-volume production of homogeneous commodities. With all this came increased mechanization and the de-skilling of labor, industrial engineers, and mass consumption. The problem with Fordism was that you could have any color you wanted provided it was black. It turns out consumers wanted variety, and Fordism couldn't provide variation without substantial expenditures. So Fordism evolved into post-Fordism, and mass production became batch production, where factories could retool efficiently and produce batches of heterogeneous goods. This flexible specialization also had more flexible and multi-skilled worker involvement. Two other notable production movements are Kalmarism, from Volvo's Kalmar, Sweden plant, which emphasized team building and a good deal of worker autonomy. They're also famous for having the first autonomously driven driving platforms. The Toyota production system, also known as lean production, was famous for its just-in-time completion and supply management and constant improvement, and had a distinctly Taylorist bent. Today, advanced manufacturing technology enable what's known as flexible automation. So let's see how we got there. So in summary, we started with the American system, which branched into both Taylorism and Fordism. And then we changed from mass production to batch production, and ultimately ended up at what we're calling flexible automation. Along the way, and many different production practices actually include pieces of this, were the Toyota production system and Kalmarism. These methods apply to all manufacturing, not just cars. So here's washing machines. So let's see these production systems in action before we look at the organization of all this production. So in the following clips, notice the mix of tools, robotics, and people, and apologies for blocky soundtracks.